Hey everyone, and welcome. So let's jump right into a question that pops up all the time when we talk about Islamic dress for women. Is there a specific dress code for color? We're going to break down the core principles to figure out exactly where the rules stop and where personal choice really begins.
And this is probably the big one, right? The question that's on a lot of people's minds. There's this idea out there, this common perception that a hijab has to be black, or at least some other somber color. But let's ask the real question. Is that actually a rule based on Islamic teachings?
And the answer? It's a really clear, simple no. That's right. The teachings don't actually lock women into wearing black or any other single color. And just like that, the whole conversation flips, doesn't it? We're not talking about what's forbidden anymore. We're talking about what's allowed.
So, okay, if it's not about restriction, then what is the guiding principle? Well, it all boils down to this really fundamental idea called the rule of permissibility. And trust me, getting this concept is pretty much the key to unlocking everything else we're going to talk about.
Okay, this is where you kind of have to flip your thinking. The starting point isn't a big list of don'ts. It's more like everything is okay, unless there's a specific reason it's not. It's a total game changer. So when we're talking about color, the default setting is basically the entire rainbow. Total freedom of choice. That's what this whole principle of permissibility is all about.
And listen, this isn't just some abstract idea. It's actually backed up with real examples. The source material points to a bunch of different colors, things like white, red, yellow, green, even striped fabrics. It just goes to show that variety is totally fine. The whole point is freedom within a set of guidelines, not some kind of strict, bland uniform.
All right, so we've established that color is super flexible, but, and this is a big but, that freedom isn't a free-for-all. It operates within a clear framework. The real focus, you see, isn't the color at all. It's about whether the outfit as a whole checks certain boxes for modesty.
And these three conditions are really the heart of it. Let's break them down. First up, coverage. Pretty straightforward, right? Is it covering what needs to be covered? Second, the fit. It needs to be loose and not see-through, so it doesn't reveal the body's shape. And number three, this one's interesting. The outfit itself shouldn't be the main attraction. It's not supposed to be so flashy that it becomes an adornment just to get attention. And these rules, they apply no matter what color you're wearing. Red, green, black, you name it.
Okay, so to make this crystal clear, the source also gives us some tips on what to steer clear of. Think of these as the guardrails that help define the edges of that freedom we were just talking about. So there are two big ones to keep in mind. First, the clothes shouldn't copy styles that are typically seen as just for men. Simple enough. The second one is about not wearing garments that are, a distinctive part of another faith's religious dress. Now, the idea here isn't about separation from people of other beliefs, not at all. It's more about preserving a distinct Islamic identity in your appearance, instead of borrowing symbols that are really specific to other religious traditions.
All right, so we've got the what. We know the rules. But you know what's just as important? The why. Why do these guidelines even exist? What's the thinking behind it all? Let's dive into that deeper purpose.
And this quote, it really nails it. The whole point isn't to make life hard or to just have rules for the sake of having rules. Nope. It's about a few core things: modesty, following a divine command, and this is so important, protecting a woman's dignity. The guidelines, they're just the roadmap to get to that destination.
And really, it all comes back to these three core values: modesty, humility, and righteousness. The way it's seen here is that your clothing choices, everything from the color to the style, are supposed to be like an outer expression of what you're cultivating on the inside. So when you put it all together, what's the big takeaway? It's all about balance. It's not about forcing everyone into some rigid uniform. It's a flexible system. It leaves room for you to express your personality, your culture, through color and style, just as long as it all lines up with those core values of modesty and humility.
And that really leaves us with something to chew on, doesn't it? How does a framework like this, one that has these clear core principles, but also tons of flexibility in things like color, actually manage that dance between religious observance and personal expression? It's a really fascinating question at the intersection of faith, culture, and individual choice. Thanks so much for tuning in for this explainer.